What if you could master the skills to build automation systems that sell between $2,000 to $5,000, like a high-value CRM that automates sales workflows, keeps leads engaged, and automates all of your pipelines? Today, I'm going to show you this exact system step by step using make.com and ClickUp. And this isn't just theory. This is one of the most common use cases businesses will pay you for. Let's get started. This video is for those of you learning automations to sell your services and make money. We are going to build a powerful CRM with three core elements: a foundation to organize leads and their data, automations to keep leads engaged with personalized follow-ups, and automations to update pipeline stages automatically when actions like meeting bookings occur. By the end of this video, you will have a fully automated CRM that is simple to customize, valuable to clients, and ready to market as a service. If you want to skip the hard work and get the done-for-you scenarios and scripts and everything that I'm showing you in this video, I'm giving it away. Check the link below. Now, let's dive in. First, let's build the foundation of our CRM in ClickUp.com. Don't worry if you're not familiar with ClickUp. It's very similar to Monday, which we saw in our previous video. And basically, most of these project management tools are very much the same. So you can take all of the core principles that I'm showing you here and apply them on whatever platform you are working with. Okay, so this is how ClickUp looks like. To our left, we have this menu and we can navigate through all of our spaces. If you click the plus sign and you choose templates, you could search, for example, for CRM and just choose a template over CRM. You will get something that looks very similar to what I'm showing you here, and they are all linked to each other. So for example, if I go to contacts, you'll see that under contacts, if I scroll to the right, we have this column linked tasks and it's company 1, 2, 3, 4. If I go to accounts, you'll see that we have here the name of the account is company 1, 2, 3, 4. So they are all pretty much connected. What we are going to do now, we are going to build from scratch a new CRM. I don't like usually use templates for CRMs. I love building my own CRMs. So I'm going to go here to the plus sign and I'm going to click list. So this is the CRM that I'm going to use and click create. We will get this list that we are seeing here. So we have here some default columns. I'm going to hide them for now. We are going to create our own column. So I'm going to click on the name of the column and then I'm going to click hide column, and on this one as well, hide column. Great. We are going to create custom columns. You need to understand that ClickUp will name their default columns as default columns, and we have the custom columns. It's important to understand the difference down the road when we are going to use Make to automate some stuff. They distinguish between the two. So it's very important that you understand the concept, but it's pretty much the same. It's just columns. So let's start by creating the lead stages column. So I'm going to click here the plus sign and I'm going to choose. If I search, for example, for status, I just want to show you, you'll see here that we already have some columns that are default columns of ClickUp. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to choose drop down. I'm going to give this drop down a name. Let's name it stage. So let's name it stage. And I'm going to put here on the description for my own the YouTube demo. I'm going to scroll down and here I need to add the options. So for example, the first one is going to be intake. Then we are going to click add option and we are going to add meeting booked, which we are going to use later. And now I'm going to add waiting proposal. I'm going to add here, let's say proposal sent. I'm going to add here 1 and let's add lost. Now I can give each option a color, which is pretty much important when I want to manage everything and have an overview of things. So for example, lost, I'm going to give it a red color. 1 is going to be a green color. And the other ones doesn't really matter. You can just give, for example, orange, blue, and pink, and let's add here another one. Great. So I'm going to click create, and you will see that you got here this new column. If I create a new lead, for example, Kevin Yax1, and you're going to see now this new lead over here, and I'm going to choose in here. Let's give it an intake, but I want to change the color of this intake. I don't like this gray. Let's give it a light purple or light blue. That's great. Okay, great. So we have here this new lead, and the stage of this lead is intake. Now we want to add some key fields. Your CRM should have them. They are essential for your CRM. So I'm going to add a contact email, the source platform like Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, where they came from. We are going to add an assign to, which basically is going to assign leads to a specific sales team member. We are going to add a discovery call URL to store meeting links, which we are going to use later on. Okay, so the way to do that, I'm going to run through it. I'm going to click here the plus sign. Let's search for email, and let's add the email fields. I'm going to name it email, create an existing. So let's give it another name, email demo. I'm going to click create. Perfect. Let's add the assign to. I'm just going to use the default one by the system, the assign to. Next, we want to add the URL for the discovery. I'm going to add website, URL, let's name it call URL to store the meetings URL. Perfect. And we wanted to add the source, the platform. You can choose text. No, let's choose labels. Let's name it source demo. Here I can choose the options. So I'm going to put Facebook. Let's put LinkedIn. I think that's about it. Create, and perfect. Now I want to create a few leads over here. So I'm going to add a few items. So I'm going to put Kevin 2. Let's put Kevin 3. Let's create like 5 Kevin. Oh, I forgot to put Kevin 4. Perfect. Let's give each one of them a proposal sent and waiting proposal. All right, perfect. Let's give them an email. So I'm just going to use my demo email for all of them so we can later on test everything. Perfect. Discovery call, I'm not going to do anything for now. Let's put Facebook for the first one. Facebook, we have it in, and here, by the way, if you want to give it colors, then you can do it as well, just so we have it looking beautiful. Okay, perfect. So we have our foundation. So I want to organize the leads by stage, by our stage that we just created. So let's put here stage, and perfect. You'll see that we have a clear and actionable sales pipeline. Now that we have set up the foundation of our CRM in ClickUp, it's time to automate some key actions. Specifically, we are going to set up an email automation triggered by a status change in the CRM. When a lead moves to the waiting proposal stage, this automation will ensure the lead receives a follow-up email immediately, adding a professional touch to your sales process and improving your sales conversion rate. But before we send the email, we need to retrieve all the relevant details about the lead from ClickUp. Let's break this down step by step. The first step is to use a webhook to listen for any changes in our CRM. So let's go to make and create a new scenario. We want to name this scenario. So I'm going to name it ClickUp status change email, status change to waiting proposal email. Now we want to add a webhook module. I'm going to choose custom webhook, and I'm going to create a new connection. Let's name it ClickUp status change to waiting proposal. Now we want to copy the URL here and save it. We are going to use it in a second. We want to go now to ClickUp and go to automations, and we want to set up a new automation. On the left side, this is going to be the trigger. So you see here it says when this happen on the field that we want to use for trigger in our automation, then do this. So let's set up the trigger. Let's scroll down a bit. I'm going to choose here when and not status changes. We want to choose a custom field changes. Now we want to choose our field, which we named stage. When stage changes from any to waiting proposal. Then now we want to choose, I'm going to search here webhook, call a webhook, and this is where we want to paste our webhook's URL that we got earlier. So I'm going to paste it in here and I'm going to create this automation. So basically every time that the stage field status is going to change to waiting proposal, this automation will trigger the webhook. Now let's test that is working properly. So I'm going to go back to make. I'm going to choose my module. I'm going to do redetermine data structure. So now it is listening to our webhook. It's waiting for it to be triggered. I'm going to go back here and I'm going to choose on one of these leads, waiting proposal. Let's go back to make. Perfect. So we see that it changed to successfully determined, so we can see that it's working perfectly. So now whenever the state changes to waiting proposal, the webhook will fire and send data to make.com. At this point, the webhook provides some basic data like the task ID and a few fields, but it doesn't include all the detailed information we need. For instance, the webhook won't directly include the lead's email address or any custom fields we've added to our CRM. That's where the ClickUp get task module comes in. So why do we use the get task module? When the webhook triggers, it sends the bare bones datasets. To personalize the email and include all relevant lead information like their name, email, or stage, we need to fetch the full task details from ClickUp. By retrieving the complete record, we future-proof the automation, ensuring it has access to any additional fields we might add to our CRM later. So how do we set that up? First, we need to add the ClickUp get task module to our scenario, like we just did here. In the module settings, select map and then use the task ID from the webhook as the input. I'm going to choose here under the payload and let's click OK. Now let's test the module by running the scenario with an example task ID to confirm that it retrieves the full record, including custom fields like email, stage, and lead source. So I'm going to click run once. Let's go back to ClickUp. I'm going to go to one of my leads and change the stage to waiting proposal. Let's go to make and see what happens. Great. So we can see that it's working. If I click here, let's see in our output, we can see all of the details. So task name, Kevin Liax 3, which is basically the name of the lead here that we just changed its status. And the way that this module works is basically it shows you the type of column. And under each one of these types, you can find the details. So if I scroll down, for example, to custom fields, I can see here source demo, which is this field over here, which is the source. So I can find it over there. So I can see that everything works great, everything works fine, and we can proceed to the next step. Okay, now with the full leads details retrieved, we are ready to send the follow-up email. This email confirms to the lead that we are working on the proposal and keeps the sales process moving forward. So first thing we want to add here, another module, email, and we are going to click send an email. I already have my connections over here, so I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to add here, add a recipient. And we want to click here map, so we can map it from our previous module. And I'm going to look for the email of my example of my test lead. So here I can see that I still have Kevin 3. I'm going to scroll down until I find here it's not this one. Okay, it's here, email demo. This is a custom field that we created and it's under the email demo. So we are going to email demo. If I go back here to click, we'll see that we have here the email demo. To this column, we are going to send an email every time the stage changes to waiting proposal. Okay, so now the subject, I'm just going to copy from the blueprint I created for you guys. So I have the thanks for the call proposal coming soon. And as for the content, so I'm going to put here, thanks for the call earlier, just letting you know that I'm working on your proposal and we will have it ready within the next 2 to 3 hours. These tags, these HTML tags will help you with spacing. So it looks better, it looks good in our email. And I want to add here also the name of my lead. The problem with the name of my lead is that if you have a look here, it's the full name and I only want to retrieve the first name of my lead. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the split function and then the get function. So I'm going to put here, hey, and now we want to map the name here, task 9. You see it says Kevin the Axe 3. And this is the one that we want to, first of all, we want to split. So I'm going to put it like this, split. And then after we split the full name into 2 sections, we want to get the first section. So it's going to retrieve the first part of the name. So I'm going to put here 1 and great. Okay, just one more thing I forgot. When I'm using the split function, I need to tell it where to split it. So I'm going to put the space. So basically what it does is going to look for the space, and this is going to be the point where it splits my text into 2. The first part, which is the first name, and then the last name, and I'm going to use the get in order to get the first part of my name. Okay, now finally, we want to test that the first automation is working properly. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to click run once, and I'm going back to ClickUp. I'm just going to change this lead. Now it's going to be Kevin 4, and I'm going to change it to waiting proposal. Let's go back to make, and here we can see that it seems to work properly. And now I want to go to my email inbox, my test inbox. Let's wait a second, and here we can see that we got a new email. Let's see how it looks like. Hey Kevin, so it's personalized with the first name. Thank you for the call, and everything works great. So now we can move to the second automation in our CRM. Now we are going to automatically update stages for meetings. So whenever the lead books a call with you, it's going to automatically update the stage in our CRM. So the way that it will look like is whenever the lead is going to book a call with us, it's going to change this stage from whatever it has at that point to meeting booked. Okay, so for that, we are going to create another automation. So let's go back to our make account and create a new automation. I'm going to click here, create a new automation, and we want to give it a proper name. So let's name it call, let's do CRM, meeting booked automation. All right. So as earlier, we want to create another webhook to connect this app. So I'm going to go here and choose custom webhook. Let's create a new connection, and I'm going to name it calendar meeting booked. Great. Let's copy and click OK for now. Now for booking the meeting, there are different platforms that you can use like Calendly or cal.com. We are going to use now Cal. So I'm going here to cal.com. Let's go to the app. So the way it works, you can basically create your own meeting and scheduling. And the way it looks like is if I click preview, then the lead can go to this calendar, choose the date, choose the time. You will get here this message that can be modified. You can change it, and this is going to be the most important part, the email address later, and we are going to compare it to the emails in our CRM, and this is how we are going to connect these two leads together. Okay, so let's go back here, and now we want to select event triggers. So let me go to our meetings, and I want to go here to webhooks. Now, as you can see, I already have here this one, so I'm just going to add a new webhook, and I'm going to paste the new webhook that we created in Make, And basically, these are all the triggers when to fire our webhook. I'm going to remove all of them, and I'm just going to keep the meeting booked one. So I'm removing the booking cancelled, and you can see it's the booking created. This is the one that we want to keep here. So let me just remove all of them. Okay, great. So booking created, and what will happen is that this will ensure the webhook fires whenever someone books a meeting. So let's scroll here, and we can even here test our webhook. So let's go back here to our scenario. Let's do Redditor, and let's click here, ping test, and we can see that it passed. We got a status 200, which is basically working properly. If I go here, we can see it was successfully determined. Let's go back to Cal and click create web. I can remove the old one. Okay, now we want to run the webhook module so we can have some test data to work with. But before I do that, I want to go back to all of my leads over here, and let me change one of them to intake so we have something to work with. And I want to remove all of these emails from here, all these values, because I want to connect the book meeting to a specific email. So I want it to be unique. In this case, we set up earlier to all of them so we can work with some test data. So I just leave now the email demo, the email with just one of these leads. And I'm going to go to our meeting, and let's set up a meeting. So I'm using my test email, and I'm clicking confirm. All right, great. So it's scheduled. Let's go to make. Okay, so I forgot to click run once, and now let's do it again. Let's go to booking. Let's choose another time. Let's put our test email and click confirm. Great. Let's go to make. Great. So we can see that the webhook is working. It's working perfect. We can see here the trigger event, and we have here under the payload all of the details. We can see the type, the message. If I scroll down, we should find here the email. Let me find it 1 second. Okay, so it's here under responses. If I go to email, then you can see here that I just found my email. Perfect. Okay, now we want to add next a module, but in this case, we are going to choose the list. I need to click here. We want the list all tasks module. The purpose of this module is to fetch all the tasks, in our case is all of the emails from your CRM, to match the email received via the web. So first thing, set up the connection, and now we want to input the list ID of your list in ClickUp. So if I go to you'll see here that we have this number. This is the list ID. Each one of these lists, if I go here, you'll see that the number changes. So you see we have another one. Let's go back to our new list, and it's this one. So I want to grab this one, and I'm going to click here, and I'm going to choose it under the list ID. So let's paste it in here. This is our list ID, and click OK. Now let's right click and click run this module only, so we can test everything, that everything works fine. So great, we can see that we have here the list of our items. So if I scroll down, for example, bundle 2, we can see the task name, which is Kevin Liax 5 in this case. By the way, I think the task ID, if I go to ClickUp and I choose 5, yeah, so you can see here this number. I think it's this one. If I go back, let me see, 86 something. Yeah, it's this one. So we can see that it's working properly. It's fetching all of the leads from our corresponding list in our ClickUp account. Let's add another module. So we have here ClickUp, and now we want to choose edit a task with custom fields. So I told in the beginning of the video, for some reason, ClickUp will make a difference between the default fields that it has and the custom fields. So if we want to edit a custom field, we need to choose edit the task with custom fields. Now we want to choose the right workspace. The space, it's under our, let me show you, under our sales and CRM. So I'm going back to make. Under folder, you need to choose here folderless lists because we did not use any folders. And here, list, it's the name of our list. We named that CRM for YouTube demo. So let's find it, CRM for YouTube demo. Okay, now we need to map the task ID from the lead tasks module. So we need to click map, and here we want to find the task ID. So I'm going to choose this one over here. This ensures the correct lead task is updated. Now let's update the stage field. So we want to find the stage custom field. I think it's below here. Here we can see it's stage, and we want to update that to meeting booked. So I'm going to click here. Okay, and now let's test that it's working. So I'm going to click run this module only. They ask me for a task ID. So let's choose one of these. Let's choose this one. Let's grab the task ID. Let's go back here. So I'm expecting to see Kevin the X5. The stage changes from proposal sent to meeting booked. Let's see if it works. So here it seems like it worked, and great. If I go to here, Kevin 5, we can see that it changed the stage of our lead to meeting booked. Okay, finally, we have one more step. We need to add a filter to match the lead. So basically what we want to do, we want to search the email of the lead that booked the meeting over here earlier on cal.com, and we want to match it to the emails that we are seeing here in our CRM. And that way we are going to choose the right lead ID and update the stage of that lead. So the way to do that, I'm going to go here to set up a filter, and let's name it matching emails cal equal ClickUp. And here, this is just the label, this is just the name. And here under condition, I'm going to choose for first the email that we got from here. So let's map it. We need to go back to our webhook, and it was, let's find it. Okay, so it was under responses, and we have here email. So we want to choose the email that we are getting and we are going to choose as an operator equals to, text equals to, and we want to compare it to the email that we are getting that we are finding from our CRM. So it was in here. I think it's under custom fields, email demo. Okay, so it's this one. Great. So let's click OK. And now we want to test again the entire flow. So I'm going to choose run once. Let's go back to our CRM, make sure that this lead is set to intake. Great. Now let's try to book another meeting. So I'm going to click here, preview. Let's choose an hour. Let's paste our email in here. Click confirm. Great. So the meeting is scheduled. Here it seems that it was filtered. So let's figure out why. So if I click here, none of them was successful. Here we can see this is the one that we were expecting, and here we are getting a collection. Okay, so I think I know what's going on. And let's go back to our filter. Right click, we are going to do set up a filter, and I think we did not retrieve the value. So we need to go back to responses. Let me delete here this one. We need to choose email on email. In here, we need to choose the value of that email. So I think that's the issue. So let's try again. Let's go to run once, and let's schedule again our meeting. So I'm pasting here the email address. And okay, I know what happened. Let's do it again from here. Preview. Let's close this one. Choose another time. Paste here the email. Confirm. Great. So meeting is scheduled. All right. Here we can see now that it seems to work. We can see here the operation fired, and let's go back to our CRM, search for Kevin, meeting book here. All right, perfect. So it seems that it worked perfectly. We can see Kevin X1, meeting book. This is the one with our email. So everything works great. Everything works fine. Okay, just for fun, I could also edit the discovery call URL, because if I go back here, okay, this is the page that we saw earlier on cal.com. If I scroll down, and I want you to understand my thinking process, you'll see here that we have the call video, and we can see the URL. It's app.cal.com video / and then we get a unique ID. Okay, so something just happened with my laptop. Anyways, let's go back here. So if I go here, I can see the URL to my video, to the call video. It says app.cal.com /video / and then a unique ID. I want you to also understand my thinking process. I'm going to go back to my scenario, and here in our webhook, I'm going to search something that looks like that. So I already did it. So I saw that under here, metadata, I just found this URL. And if I copy this URL, then we will see that this is the URL to our no meeting found. This meeting does not exist. Contact the meeting. Let me see why. If I go here, will it work? Yeah. Okay, so it seems that I was looking at the wrong field. So you need to choose here the URL and this one. Let's see. Okay, so I used the wrong URL. So after playing a bit with that, I just clicked here. We got this long string, and you see this question mark. Usually we add parameters after question mark. So I just grabbed what comes before of that. And let's test this one, and this one seems to work. So basically we need to structure that in the following way. We need to grab the first part, which is pretty much generic, and I'm going to go to here to discovery call URL, and we're going to update that with the first part, which is generic, and the second part, which is the unique ID that starts with BR. And let me find it in our webhook. I saw it earlier. I think it's this. Hold on. Yeah, it's this one, UID. So if I click here, now let's test it. Let's grab just one of these leads. Let's grab the ID. Let's close it and test just our module. Run this module only. Here I'm going to put the task and let's see what happened. Here we can see app URL. Okay, I see what happened. I had to add also the unique ID. So I'm going back to our link, and let's go back here. Let's delete here and remove URL. Perfect. Click OK, and let's see what happens. Still not working. Why doesn't it work? Hold on, let me check something. If I click here and I'm doing edit. Oh, okay, so yeah, it's the full link. Seems that it's working properly. Let's click on that. And yeah, we get the full link. Perfect. So this way, basically what will end up happening is not just we change the stage of these leads, we are also going to change the discovery. We're going to add here a quick link to our meeting. And there you have it. You just build a fully automated CRM that automates sales processes and helps you keep the leads engaged and automatically add pipelines. I hope you find this video useful, and see you in the next one.